Well, Lindley still with us here on ENCA, our breakfast guest on a Friday. In case you're wondering, who is just 20 years old, TikTok. I'm sure has done incredibly well on radio. Is going to continue doing very well on radio. Will Lindley with us, going to sing another song of yours. You sang "Miss Me" earlier. Another one coming up later called "Wrong Time."
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's just talk about that quickly. So, are these the two big tracks you got now? Or are we talking a full album? What have we got?
Yeah, so "Wrong Time" was the second release after "Miss Me," and I released it about a month and a half ago, I think, maybe 2 months now. But it was a very daunting release because "Miss Me" did so well off the bat. And "Wrong Time" was a very different song completely in terms of feel, emotion, energy. It was a lot more upbeat. But yeah, it was the second single that we released.
What inspired this song? What happened that happened on a wrong time?
Yeah, what's the story behind the story?
What's the story behind the story?
Everyone wants to know the stories. No, it was very much one of those situations. I went into a session. It was a Zoom session. I was writing with one of David and Bubele's housemates over in the
So you were writing music over Zoom?
Over Zoom. And the guy, John Samuel, who's the producer, we were just chatting. A lot of what a session is in those first couple hours, first 2 hours, is just catching up on life, chatting and trying to get a feel for what the artist is going through. So in that situation, what I'm going through, what life is holding for me. And then I was just speaking about somebody that I had met, and I was like, she's really awesome, but I think she might just be the right girl at the wrong time. And he just picked up on that, and he was like, dude, why don't we just write a song about that? And ultimately, that was the idea of the song.
I've always been curious when it comes to artists who write songs. When you release a song like "Wrong Time," does the person that you know that you wrote the song about know that you wrote the song about them?
Because I mean, I'm trying to get my 20%. If I'm the inspiration.
You're like, nah, broke your heart, thank you very much, give me 20%.
Thanks very much. No. That song was about me. I'm claiming IP on this one. Is it obvious? Can the person listening to the song, you were saying it was Miss Wrong, but Miss Right now, would she know that the song was about her?
I think
if she's
so.
watching now, is she throwing things at the TV?
I don't know. I think it's quite funny. When "Miss Me" came out, the person who was about, like, we're very good friends. And then we were FaceTiming, and then she was like, oh, I always knew it was about me. And I was like, oh my days, come on. But with "Wrong Time," I think maybe they can pick it up. But I think as I get more mature in my writing, as I realize how to go about writing a song, it becomes more real and more authentic. And I think the more songs that I write, the more realistic and real they are, you know, and seriously, like, the people that it's about, I guess, could pick up things.
So what's your advice then to up-and-coming artists your age, trying to get into, you know, writing music, trying to get into producing, or perhaps even being out there, you know, obviously opening up themselves to a wide range of audiences? What would your experience, or what has your experience taught you that you can advise them on?
So I have to preface, the journey of doing music is different for every single person. My journey is different to David and Bubele's, who's different to Matthew Mole, who's different to Loyiso, who's different to any single South African artist, Shekinah, whoever. It's all different. So I must preface that. But I think the biggest thing that I've taken out from my journey is to keep on writing, to never stop. I remember watching a documentary about Ed Sheeran, and he was interviewing and kind of just spoke about how writing songs is like a dirty tap. When you turn on the tap, all the dirt comes out, and it's muddy water, and it comes and that just flows out for a good while. And then slowly but surely, clear water starts running. And that's the same with writing a song. The first song you write is horrible. I wrote my first song at 15. 16, and the chorus was "My baby, my darling, I love you," and that's like, wow. Like, I mean, come on,
that's Shakespearean, you know, right there. That
seriously, I was breaking barriers, man. but I think what was so special is I was surrounded by friends who, when I showed them, they went, "Oh, awesome, keep writing." So then I did, and I carried on writing. And so if you look at the difference between the very first song that I put on SoundCloud and then you listen to "Miss Me," you'd go, whoa.
So to Tumsa's point, someone watching now, okay, we're a little more out of lockdown than we were when you decided to release "Miss Me" on TikTok. Would you say TikTok is still probably the way to go? Because you were talking about barriers to entry earlier. You can't just pitch up with a CD anymore at the front door of David Gresham Records and go, "Hi, listen to me." It doesn't work like that. So someone watching now, are they TikToking? What should they do?
What's so interesting is I was watching the Kanye West documentary on Netflix the other day, and I saw his come up, and the way that he would go to labels and show a CD and say, hey, listen, I've got these songs.
Yeah.
But back in his time, you needed the funding of a label to help anyone put out their music. There was basically no one who was doing music independently. What TikTok has done is it's completely leveled the playing field. There are millions of artists now doing stuff completely independently, some working in an indie deal, so where it's a very like artist-friendly deal with a label, and then some get picked up by your Republics, your Aristas, whoever. But I think that's the biggest thing that TikTok's done. It's really leveled the playing fields in terms of just allowing anybody to really break in, and it's been cool to see more South Africans, young South Africans, putting music stuff on TikTok and just going, you know what, who cares? Like, let's just put something out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the fact is you're going to try.
Yeah, and Gareth, I'm glad you asked the question, because I think at times artists need to know that in the times we're in now, you also have to be business-minded. If there are barriers to enter actually leveled, right? You can't just think of the creative, but also the business side of your music. Do you worry about piracy? Do you worry about illegal downloads? Do you worry about your hard work actually going down the drain, being all over the place? However, you kind of account for it with your checks and balances, you know, into your account.
Well, streaming has kind of changed the piracy side of things. You know, before Spotify was really big and iTunes, and it was mainly just like Apple Music, and you were having to go in and actually buy a song. That shot up with piracy. But nowadays, with streaming and with people on different streaming platforms, on a Pandora, on iTunes, on Spotify, that's kind of taken that side of things away.
Okay.
So I guess in
Is that because you can share it so much more easily?
Yeah, and it's a lot more attainable, and like you're working on like monthly payments to have like the streaming service. If you going to be a member on Spotify or whatever, and you're going to listen to your music through there, you pay like maybe a monthly subscription or something, you know. But it's not going in and buying every single song.
But what about the illegal downloads? Do you still see a problem with that? Or, like you're saying, streaming has just, everyone is on streaming, or there's still those websites, they still take their chances?
There always is that, you know, and that's something that I guess you sometimes just can't really fight, and you realize it happens, you know.
So it's all good and well to be on the TikToks and lockdowns, but in the end, it's about performing in front of people. Today, essentially, was your TV debut. By the way, 10 out of 10 for that first performance. There'll be another one later.
Yo, listen, don't start the praise just yet. You haven't heard that.
The second one's coming, no pressure. But performing live, because not just here in South Africa, we'll talk about where you're performing here, but also UK and Germany. Is that right? Is that where you've just recently been?
And LA.
And LA. All right, take us through that. How was that?
It was awesome. It was very overwhelming. I think a lot of times people hear that as a negative thing, saying something that is overwhelming. It was a lot. You know, there's a lot of hustle and bustle. You're in the center of the music capital of the world, and there are so many incredible creatives and people that are doing pop music in LA. And for someone like me, who that's really my line, it was so awesome to be in a room with writers and people that I've just looked up to and adored, and being able to write a song and really flesh out something in a super professional way. Because when I write a song, it's like sitting with my guitar in my bedroom, and it's awesome to have those experiences, but then to really go in and actually like craft out a song with people has been awesome. And playing live was incredible.
How are the audiences? They love you? Do they think you're Australian?
Nobody cares about me there.
Nobody cares
about me there. So it's
no
really,
pressure.
No pressure, but an added pressure of trying to win over an audience.
Yes.
You know, that's the big thing that I've really tried to play and learn how to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times during my performances, I talk a lot in between. I try to converse with people.
Like a storyteller.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You're a storyteller.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, it comes down to the music.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm glad that you actually have that sort of stamina for it, because, I mean, you're still young, you're 20, and for someone who is from either South Africa trying to break international, you could have an imposter syndrome and feel like, I don't belong, you know, maybe let me just stay at home for a couple of years and then head internationally. But, I mean, you're doing really well just in terms of still going in, conversing with the crowd, and I suppose that interaction is quite important to instilling young people to say, take a chance, go ahead and perform overseas and engage and share your story and share your heritage. That's so good.
I think the biggest thing is to to always remember home and to keep playing shows at home and always provide the home country with the live music as much as possible, because you got to build audiences here before you can even jump. You don't want to jump prematurely.
So let's see if we can't help build those audiences as well, because we're going to get you back in a couple of minutes from now to actually perform as well. We set the guitar up, the microphone's ready to go. Locally, how does this work? Do you tour? Do you team up with another artist, or do you tour solo? You can see I don't understand the industry.
Yeah.
I don't know the lingo. Do you go out on your own? Are you going to festivals? Where can people start finding you?
Yeah, so again, every artist's journey is different, you know. So for someone like me, the things that I've done off the bat, I got in touch with Good Luck, Jules and Ben from Good Luck, and they helped me kind of craft out a bit of a live show, and then they were kind enough to put me on one or two of their festivals in December. But right now I'm kind of just playing a lot of acoustic shows and about to go on a tour end of June, early July, play Bryanston Tiger's Milk, which will be awesome. We just sold that out, so that's awesome. But it's very much just, you can either open for people, which is great, or you just you go up to a restaurant and you say, yo, what's up, can I play here for a little bit?
Can you give me a spot, move a table, I'm going to play for free.
Absolutely.
Just very briefly, because we're going to get you ready to do your next song, Wrong Time, in a couple of minutes. The socials, is that how the kids say it? The socials. Where do they, apart from finding you at Tiger's Milk in Bryanston, how do we follow you? Where do we find you?
On Instagram, I am Will Lindley, but the Lindley has two Y's at the end, because there was other Will Lindley in there who had the name. And then on TikTok, I'm William Lindley Music.
All right, thank you so much, Will. Great meeting you. We're going to hear you, of course, performing. Stick around for that, because it's going to be very much, of course, fun and interesting, beautiful voice that